What's up? This is our third period class from Northrop High School. And what's up to anybody else who's watching this video? My name is Teko, and today I want to inform you guys about one specific case. It's an old case, but I don't think nobody should forget about it. It's the case is called Nixon versus United States. It deals with our 37th president breaking the law. I believe nobody should be above the law, not even our president. And anyways, if anybody else in Mrs. ARP is wondering why I did a video instead of a normal PowerPoint, it's simply because I got some free times and I'm trying to do my best to make this less boring as possible. And I don't want nobody to be falling asleep during my presentation, especially the guy who sits right behind me in class, Xavier. No, I'm just kidding. But on a more serious note, though, hope everybody understands a little bit more about United States versus Nixon by the end of this video. So let's get it started. Nixon versus United States by me and my partner Dylan. Let's begin this by telling you guys about the background. It was the year 1972, and President Richard Nixon, a Republican who was running for re-election, against Senator George McGovern, who was a Democratic. In the end, Nixon won with flying colors. But there was something wrong. About 5 months earlier, before the election even started, an alert security guard caught 5 burglars who was stealing information at the Democratic Watergate apartment. The Watergate incident was on June 17, 1972. They done loads of investigation and found out Nixon took some part in the robbery, but Nixon always denies that he has nothing to do with the Watergate break-in. So the Congress did more investigation and found out there is a tape that proved Nixon was discussing about the break-in. They wanted Nixon to turn the tape in, but he keeps refusing. He used executive privilege. If you guys are wondering what executive privilege is, it's like one of those power that the president has, pretty much saying he don't have to turn in the tape if he don't want to, which later backfired on him. Quote, he claimed that the president has the right to privileged communication that could not be looked at by any other branch by the government. The district court ruled against Nixon. He appealed and went straight to the Supreme Court. The court decision. In 1974, the Supreme Court finally got their hands on the tape. The court says, quote, under the Constitution, the judiciary had the final voice, not an executive branch. As for the executive privilege, the president had a right to privilege certain area of national concern, but not personal use. The Supreme Court is just pretty much saying Nixon can't use the excuse to save him because it's only work if it's a national concern, but not for the personal use. So when they finally actually watched the video, they found out Nixon did take part in the Watergate incidents. So they declared an impeachment on him, but he decided to resign after 10 days later instead. He was the first president to resign. Well, if you ask for my opinion, I think Nixon was a big fraud and he cheated on his election. But this wasn't the only thing he tried to cover up. There's also other incidents like the murder of students, something with the Vietnam War, the mistrust. I don't think it's fair he got away with these kind of acts. So I think nobody should be above the law, not even the president. So here's some quotes and facts. 4 of the justices were appointed by Nixon. Chief Justice Wehrenberger, Harry Blackmun, Lewis Powell Jr., William Rehnquist. And here's a quote from James St. Clair. The president wants me to argue that he is powerful, a monarch, a Louis the 17th, only 4 years at a time, and is not subject to the process of any court in the land except the court of impeachment. And here's Justice Lewis Powell. Mr. St. Clair, what public interest is there in preserving secrecy with respect to criminal conspiracy? And here's what Chief Justice Wehrenberger got to say. Neither the doctrine or separation of power, nor the need of confidential, of high-level communication without measure can sustain an absolute, unqualified presidential privilege of immunity from judicial process under all circumstances. The president needs for complete candor to objectivity from advisor call for great difference from the court. However, when the privilege depends solely on the board, indifferently claim of public interest in a confidential of such conversation, a confrontation with other value arise. And that's what Chief Justice Warren Burger got to say. And what I just read to you guys were just quotes. So to summarize it all up, Nixon versus United States was a case back in the 70s. Nixon cheated on his campaign by sending his men to steal information from the Democratic Watergate apartment complex. His man got caught, and they found out Nixon was part of the break-in. They also found out there is a tape that proves he took part in it. Nixon wanted to give them the tape. It went to the Supreme Court. Then the Supreme Court saw it, and he was guilty. 10 days later, he resigned. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit more about the case Nixon versus United States. And thanks for watching.